in that first meeting, both the Iranian negotiators said to us directly, with no shame, that they controlled 460 kilograms of 60%, and they're aware that that could make 11 nuclear bombs, and that was the beginning of their negotiating stance.
Joining me now to continue the conversation is physicist and weapons expert David Albright. David, thanks for being with us here today. The strike happening when it did obviously had the benefit of having all of the leaders, or most of the leaders of Iran, in one location. But as to the point of how dangerous it was getting with Iran's nuclear capabilities, what were we on the brink of? How close?
Well, I think what the Iranians are talking about is their inventory of highly enriched uranium that could be converted into weapon-grade uranium, and it's enough for about 11 nuclear weapons. And that material was not destroyed in the June war, and so it's still in Iran. I mean, some of it's buried in the Fordow mountain complex, probably not recoverable, but there's a large quantity of it in a mountain complex at the Esfahan nuclear site. And we know from satellite imagery over the months that Iran regained access to that site. It had been attacked by Tomahawk cruise missiles, and so our understanding is it's still in that complex, but that Iran may be able to get access to some of it. I mean, we think some of the mountain complex was damaged by U.S. Tomahawks, but nonetheless. And so what Iran's trying to do is leverage that. And in essence, this is a playbook they often use, is try to threaten the United States that they'll do this. Now, in this case, we do have to worry that they could use this highly enriched uranium with some gas centrifuges that may still remain to make weapon-grade uranium and try to march down the path to nuclear weapons. And so we think that there's forces on Iran against that, but nonetheless, it remains a concern. And it was a factor in trying to figure out, is it necessary to strike Iran? Now, what I would argue is that if the administration believes this, then make sure that they deal with this highly enriched uranium inventory, which they left in place last time and did not, in a sense, bring down the mountain in some way to lock it in and make it very hard to recover.
And how would they deal with that now? With strikes on the mountain?
I think that's the easiest way. I mean, Iran is nervous. It has 3 tunnel entrances at Esfahan Mountain. They, as I said, went back into one of them, and we think they drove trucks into one. But now, in the last several weeks, they actually covered them completely with dirt. They feel there's something important in there, and they're worried about tunnel access through the tunnel entrance. But these mountains have vulnerabilities. I mean, Iran can try to bury these things, but the United States has tremendous weaponry, and I do believe that this stock has to be dealt with. Now, commandos cannot dig their way in there unless Iran's already defeated, but certainly the mountain can be shook in a way or damaged in a way that it would be very hard for Iran to recover the highly enriched uranium and then use it to make a bomb. Short of that material, it's going to just take them longer and longer to be able to succeed.
There's also the question of what China was doing at this very moment to bolster Iran. And we're going to get into that a little bit later in the show, the relationship between China and Iran. Thank you so much for being with us today, David Albright.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.